Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the Home and Garden channel. Today we're going to be looking at, I'm going to show you how to prepare your pot for planting and how to repot a plant. When the plant becomes too big for the pot, I'm going to show you how to take it out and repot it, because that may just be the reason why your plant is not growing anymore. I have the two boys, Jaden and Ajani. Say hi.
Hi.
Alright, so remember, we're going to show you how to repot and how to prepare your pot for planting. Stay tuned. Welcome back guys. So first I'm going to show you how to pot the plant, and then I'm going to show you how to repot the plant and prevent the root bounding and so forth. So first thing of course you're going to need is your pot, and make sure that your pot have holes in it. If it doesn't have any hole, make sure you puncture some hole. So when you water, the water can drain, the soil can drain properly, because you don't want the water to be sitting around the roots, because that will cause root rot. So make sure that you have holes, and of course you're going to need some gravel. If you don't have any gravel, you can use rough soil with a lot of stone in it. Right? And you want to just put a small amount of gravel in the bottom of the pot like that. Maybe that amount. What that will do is to actually prevent the holes in the pot from becoming clogged with soil, so that you don't have good drainage. So what this will do is to create a barrier between the soil and the hole, so that you have good drainage. Alright? You can, if you don't have gravel, you can also use kaya or coconut. That fiber from the coconut, you can put some kaya in the bottom of the pot. Or if you have burlap, those persons who have access to burlap, you can put burlap in the bottom. Next thing you will need is your soil. Of course, last week we showed you how to prepare your garden soil, so you're going to need your garden soil. You probably need one of these, or you can just use your hand, right? If you are not that stoush, you can just use your hands and pour in the soil. And you want to put the soil, I'm going to show you to what level. Sorry boys. Right? You don't want to put the soil all the way up. Right? You want to give it about that. Right? Because what happens when you finish, you want to embellish the pot, meaning that you want to put something on top of it. You don't want to put the soil all the way up, so that when you water, it actually splashing over to the side. So this amount of soil is good. Right? You can put a little bit more, because of course when you water, it will reduce the volume. So you can put a little bit more. And this is it. You are ready to go ahead. Of course, next what you do is to wet this, and then you plant your crop. Alright, so that is how you prepare your pot for planting. Alright, so we're now going to move to part 2 of the video, where I'm going to show you how to repot. Now for the repotting exercise, you're going to need one of these, right? A secateur. Of course, depending on the plant, you may need gloves. So I'm just going to put on my gloves. JJ, you good? This is where I want you guys to help me, okay? Alright. You then going to try and remove the plant from the pot. Alright, you just turn it sideways. You want to roll it a little. And you don't want to wet it, because if you wet it, it's going to make it difficult to come out. So you leave it dry as possible. Hold the pot, John. Just hold the pot. Alright. Just kind of turn it.
Burst the pot. Look how the roots burst the pot.
Alright, so yes. Alright, there you go. Now, right. So we talk about root bounding. This is what we're talking about, where the root comes to this side of the pot and it bound, because it don't really have anywhere to go, so it bound. And this can prevent the plant from actually growing as well as how you want it to grow. So what we are going to do, I am going to show you how to score some of these roots, how to remove some of these root bound, so that when you do that, the plant will send out new roots. In the meantime, what you're going to do is to prepare your pot to repot this. So I'm going to put back some of this gravel in this, right? And then I'm going to put back this So I'm just going to take off some of the soil along with some of the root. Right, as you can see, don't be afraid to cut the root. Cut them because they will send up new growth. Right, and you can see this plant is a plant that have bulb or underground water storage. It stores water underground. Stand up so you don't. Right? And right here where you can see the roots actually wrapping up on the trunk, on the main trunk. This is actually stifle the plant, so you want to remove this root. Right?
What is this for?
All of these dead tissue, you want to remove them as well. Right? So that the plant can regenerate. And within a couple of months, I'm going to give you an update. By the way, this plant is called a desert rose. It's a very, very beautiful plant. It's hardy, and as you can see, the reason why it's hardy because it has this huge underground water storage, which store a lot of water. So this plant is a drought tolerant plant. So those of you who live in the tropics, in the Caribbean, it's a very good plant to put in your garden because it is very hardy. Alright, and I want to just leave it like this. This is perfect. Now, as it relates to stem selection, I am going to show you, I'm going to do another video how to propagate this plant. So I'm going to select a few stems, right? Because I'm not going to put back all of these stems on it. I'm going to just prune it a bit. So I'm going to show you. Now, the first thing that you want to do is to look at your plant and how the plant is situated. Look, spin it around, turn it around. As you can see, most of the growth is on this side. So we don't want to take anything from this side. We don't want to take anything from this side because most of the growth is from this side. So what we're going to do, just to create a balance, I'm going to remove this one right here. Right? And then, as I said, it's all about balance. I'm just going to remove that one right there. Notice I cut it at an angle. So these now, I'm going to allow these to dry out for a few days, and then I'm going to use these cuttings so I can get new desert rose. If you like that idea, if you like this idea and you want to watch this video, please subscribe to my channel and you will see that video. And please like and share. So these can give me around 4 to 6 plants. Alright? And of course, if you're curious, that's a bloom. That's how it looks. Right there. So this now is ready to be repotted. I am also going to remove this section because I don't like it. It looks like it has disease. So I'm going to remove it right there. I'll probably use this to grow a new plant. Careful, Jay. Alright?
Daddy, look. What I did. Once you stick.
Alright. So this is ready. And this is ready to be repotted. Now, if you are doing this with desert rose, when you repot it, you don't want to give this a lot of water because the water will actually cause this root system to rot. So when you repot it, just slightly water it, and maybe water it every other day or every 2 days. You can water, and you don't want to give it a soaking. You want to water it so that it can drain. And as soon as it regenerates, come down, Jay. As soon as it regenerates roots, then you can go ahead and give it its normal watering schedule. Because remember, this plant stores a lot of water. So if you put more water in it, it will actually cause the roots to rot. Right? Now, I'm going to reuse some amount of this soil. So now, I'm just going to put some gravel in the bottom of the pot. And I'm going to use some of this depleted soil and put this in the bottom of the pot. Right? You want to put the good, nice, fertile soil around the roots so that as soon as you have new roots, then those new roots can get that fertile soil. You can put the depleted soil to the bottom of the pot. Alright, so about this, it's about quarter way, and I'm now going to test this to see, and I need a little bit more, so I'm now going to put some of, here then, to you guys, I'm now going to, you don't want to put this too deep. In other words, you don't want the soil, when you put this in the pot, you don't want the soil to be catching anywhere and the new and the fresh green growth right here. anywhere this was in the soil, in the pot where you take it out, the level at which it was, that is the same level at which you want to put it back. Because if you put soil all the way up here, the soil can cause this tissue to rot. Right? So if the soil level was right here, when you remove it from the pot originally, that's where you want to put it back. So I put this in the center. And I now think I have the right depth. So I'm just going to ask John, you know, and what you want to do is turn it around so that you can get the face of your plant, because the plant have a face, you know. And to me, this look like the face of my plant, where you have this nice fresh growth over here. So I'm going to turn this to the front. Alright, this is going to be the front of my plant, the face of my plant. Come on, John. Get this and put some soil around it.
It's spring. Yeah, there's the spring here. It could be easy. Can I do it?
Alright, so guys, let me show you. This is actually it. That's it right there. That's the level that you want it. Right? You want it to be exactly where it was when it was in the original pot or in the soil if this plant was in the ground. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just to put some gravel around it. I'm just going to put some gravel around it and just to create a nice little embellishment at the top to bring it off. And then, of course, we're going to give it a slight watering. Jay, stop playing with that tool. It's dangerous. It will cut you. Okay? And you're not supposed to put the blade in the soil. It will cause the blade to get dull. Okay? Alright. Alright? So that's it. See it right there? And of course now, you just go ahead, water this, put it somewhere where it can get full sun. But this plant, it needs full sunlight because, as I said, it's basically a desert plant. It's very drought tolerant. So you put this in full sun, especially for these area, that you cut. You want to put it in full sun so that it can dry out properly. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you learned something, and I want you to go and repot your plant. Remember, when the plant becomes root bound, it can't grow and produce how you want it. Now this plant will spring up, it will send out new shoot, it will bloom, and I will have it for maybe 3-4 years before I have to do this again. Thank you very much. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you like the content, like the video, share the video with your friends. Home and Garden Fix and Tricks, I'm Nikal. Peace. Boys, say goodbye.
Goodbye.